Ardis Watkins, I'm with the State Employees Association. Good to see you, Commissioner Ishii, and thank you, members of the committee. Commissioner, my first question is on behalf of folks who are calling us kind of nonstop. You reiterate that these closures would be temporary, just suspending operations. State employees, unfortunately, have seen countless temporary suspension of operations that later become permanent. Usually the reason they are given is that to retrofit, to make things modern in the facility would just cost too much, so you know what, we're just going to keep that one closed. So I came here today, none of us want to come out and be anywhere today, right? But I came here today because folks have to go to work in this system and perform these vital functions for us. And they are asking, because they're being told at their prisons in some cases, you won't be coming back here. We won't be reopening it. It would cost too much to reopen it properly and retrofit it to be modern. So since we're in a public venue, I was wondering if you could give me assurances I could pass along to them by listening to this, that in fact, without question, the operations that are suspended right now temporarily will definitely be opened back up.
Well, I can't guarantee it, but I can tell you the facilities that are suspended are funded, and our intention is to have this be a temporary suspension and with reopening as the pandemic allows us. You know, the other thing that I think is important that we point out is we have reopened two suspended facilities. We've reopened Terrell Prison Work Farm, and we've also recently reopened Robinson CRV. So those were two places that were suspended or closed and now have since reopened. So, you know, but our intention is that these suspensions are temporary.
So your intention is right now that they're temporary?
Yes.
But, well, what would keep you from reopening them? You said, you know, you can't say for sure. So what conditions can I pass along to folks would be the reason you would not reopen any of them?
Well, I mean, the pandemic is the reason why they were suspended. So if it ends up staying around longer, impacts operations longer.
But in terms of a permanent basis?
Well, future budget cuts, you know, could impact that. You know, I know that some of the budget projections I've seen is shortfalls in the billions of dollars per year, and if DPS is forced to take a cut, you know, we may or may not be able to continue to operate all of those sites. But, you know, that's all I think at this point, you know, just speculation. But our intention is to reopen. You know, two of the sites that were closed are camps that are on the same piece of property. They're just a minimum security unit. So those folks aren't traveling or going anywhere. They're just, instead of working in one building, they're working in a different building.
So how many prisons have closed in North Carolina in the last 10 years?
I don't know that number. I'd have to follow up with you.
It's 16, sir. And that's about 30% of the total number of prisons you have now. We have closed in this state 30% of the number of prisons we have right now. And 7 days ago, there was an article in the paper saying that, according to Raleigh police officers, arrests fell by nearly 40% here in Raleigh from January through September of this year. Number of people sent back to prison or jail after having probation revoked during those months fell 53% statewide, and the number of people in county jails across the state dropped nearly 30% from February to July. When COVID resolves, and we've got a prison system that we've decimated, cut by a third in the last 10 years, and arrest rates go back to normal, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, our 10-year projection calls for our prison system to population to go up a little bit over the next 10 years. You know, right now we've got, as of this morning, I think we had just under 8,000 empty beds across the prison system. You know, so we've got a responsibility to be safe, but also be good stewards of state funding. So it's a you know, a delicate balance. But if the population goes back up, we will reopen closed units, or we will come back to the General Assembly and ask for more money to operate units that were closed if we don't have the budget to do that. But, you know, we're kind of at the mercy of the crime rates and the court system in the state of North Carolina. So we kind of grow and decrease as those numbers dictate.
Okay. Right now, you said there's 8,000 empty beds?
Yes, just under. I think it was 7,800 this morning.
So,
I mean, I know that SEANC has a lot of concerns and that they want to make inquiries of the gentleman, but you know, they're not committee members. So I don't know if you. I mean, that's just my personal.
No, I'm going to allow it here. A couple of more questions, but we want to try and wrap it up. Do you have a couple?
yes, sir. I can do it with just one more.
Okay.
So
right.
the empty beds. What I was trying to get to with that is, are all of your dormitory settings meeting fire code right now?
I don't know. You know, I don't want to go on record. Let me follow up with you. I know we have some sites that we are implementing using a fire watch type system where we have a malfunction in the fire system, but they do the fire watch is an acceptable practice. If you want additional follow up on that, I can.
That would be very good, because what we're hearing anecdotally from prisons, folks who work inside them, is, you know, we're putting a lot more beds in these dorms than we normally have, and especially if we temporarily suspend a few of them, we'll be doing that even more, and that kind of makes the spread obviously more likely. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much to members of the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Commissioner Ishii.
Thank you, Ms. Watkins. Thank you very much.